September 2024. Somewhere inside Anthropic's San Francisco offices, a TypeScript engineer named Boris Cherny starts a side project. Not an official initiative, not a research program, just a question. What if you could point an AI at your entire code base and simply tell it to work? What would a truly autonomous coding agent look like? Not a tab-complete tool, not a chatbot in a sidebar. Something that actually writes, runs, and fixes code on its own without you holding its hand. This is the story of Claude Code, from a weekend side project to $2.5 billion in revenue, to an accidental leak that revealed everything Anthropic didn't mean to show the world. Boris Cherny had joined Anthropic just months before, bringing deep expertise in TypeScript, compiler internals, type systems, advanced tooling. When he began experimenting with Claude as a real coding agent, the results were compelling enough that Anthropic decided to resource it properly. A side project became a team. The core philosophy was this: put the AI in the terminal, not the browser, not an IDE sidebar. The terminal where engineers actually live. That meant direct access to the file system, Bash, Git, local compilers, production servers. A primary actor, not a passive observer. February 2025, Claude Code goes public, but carefully. The early versions ran on v0.2x. Features were raw but deliberate. A thinking mode triggered by keywords like think or ultra-think for extended reasoning, initial MCP support for connecting to project-scoped external tools, and the ability to resume interrupted conversations. It was rough. It worked. Under the hood, the architecture was deliberately minimal. Anthropic internally called the core cycle the N0 loop, a clean while loop. Send context and tools to the model, receive a tool call back, execute it locally, feed the result back in, repeat. The philosophy was fewer abstractions, more model. And then there was ClaudeMD, a plain markdown file in the project root that the agent reads every single session. Your coding conventions, your architecture decisions, your constraints. A runtime constitution that tells the AI exactly how to behave in this specific project. May 22, 2025. Version 1.0, general availability. Claude Code launched to the world alongside the Claude 4 model family. The experiment was officially a product. A tool becomes a platform the moment other systems can be built on top of it. June 30, 2025. Version 1.0.38. The hook system arrived, and it fundamentally changed the nature of the tool. Hooks let developers attach custom scripts to lifecycle events. Session start, pre-tool use, post-tool use, session end, file changed. The AI was no longer just an assistant. It was a programmable engineering pipeline. 2 weeks later, native Windows support landed in version 1.0.51. Then custom subagents arrived in version 1.0.60. The ability to spawn specialized AI workers for parallel subtasks, each with its own context and permission scope. The single agent was learning to delegate. September 29, 2025. Version 2.0. The plugin system. Developers could extend Claude Code with custom / commands, specialized agents, and automated behaviors, all defined in a plugin manifest. Claude skills arrived alongside it, reusable instruction bundles that load on demand without bloating the base context window. A sandbox mode for secure Bash execution launched for Linux and Mac OS. The /rewind command let you undo agent changes. Git worktree isolation arrived in early 2026, letting Claude operate in a clean branch without touching your main working directory. One feature at a time, Claude Code was becoming infrastructure. Early 2026, the scale of ambition shifted completely. February 5, 2026. Anthropic introduced Claude Opus 4.6 with a 1 million token context window. For developers, that meant loading an entire large codebase into context simultaneously. The AI could see everything at once. But the headline feature wasn't the context window. It was agent teams. A lead agent could now coordinate a squad of specialists, a front-end agent, a back-end agent, a QA agent, all running in parallel, in independent context windows, communicating through interagent messaging. Multi-agent workflows by design. The market responded. Within 6 months of general availability, Claude Code hit $1 billion in annualized run rate revenue. By early 2026, that number had more than doubled to $2.5 billion. Context compaction rounded out the February release, a server-side feature that automatically summarizes and prunes older conversation content as token limits approach. Combined with the 1 million token window, Claude Code could now run sessions lasting multiple days without losing the thread. Then March 2026 happened. The version number jumped 10 times in a single month, from 2.1.69 to 2.1.88 in 31 days. Anthropic was shipping faster than anyone could track. Features that would have been major product launches elsewhere were landing as quiet point updates. Auto mode used an input injection probe and an output transcript classifier to automatically handle routine permission prompts. Instead of interrupting you for every file read and bash command, Claude could now move at full speed, pausing only for actions that were genuinely risky. Less babysitting, more building. Computer use let Claude step completely outside the terminal. Screenshots, mouse simulation, keyboard control, browser automation using your actual logged-in sessions. Claude Code could now see a web page, interact with a form, verify the visual result, all as part of a single engineering task. Scheduled tasks enabled recurring autonomous jobs, nightly dependency audits, automated PR reviews, documentation generation, running on Anthropic's cloud infrastructure, fully independent of whether your laptop was even powered on. Remote control let you monitor and steer those sessions from a phone or browser. Then on March 31st, 2026, something went wrong, and everything got very interesting. A single missing line in a npmignore file, a bug in the bun JavaScript runtime. The result, 512,000 lines of unobfuscated TypeScript sitting in the public npm registry, downloadable by anyone who installed Claude Code version 2.1.88. The leak confirmed what developers had suspected about the internals. The 46,000-line query engine, the 3-layer memory architecture, a lightweight index always in context, detailed project knowledge, fetched on demand, raw transcripts searchable by grep. The React-based Ink UI using game engine rendering techniques for flicker-free terminal output. But the real revelations were the secrets. A flag called anti-distillation CC that injects fake tool definitions into API requests, specifically designed to corrupt the training data of competitors recording Claude Code traffic. A module called Undercover TS that prevents the agent from leaking internal Anthropic codenames in external repos. And frustration detection, regex patterns that check whether you're getting angry at the AI. The same morning brought a second shock. A supply chain attack on the Axios library, a JavaScript package used by millions of developers. Malicious versions contained a remote access Trojan called PlainCrypto.js. Anthropic immediately designated their native installer as the only safe installation method, bypassing the npm dependency chain entirely. April 2026, the cleanup and what comes next. Versions 2.1.92 through 97 shipped in under a week in early April. On SWE Bench Verified, the gold standard coding benchmark, Claude Code, with Opus 4.6 hit 80.8%, among the highest scores ever recorded. Independent testing showed 5.5 times fewer tokens used versus comparable IDE agents. The leak also exposed the roadmap. Kairos, an always-on daemon designed to run consolidation tasks while you're idle, dreaming your project's knowledge into shape overnight. Ultraplane, 30-minute cloud-powered planning sessions, offloading architecture reasoning to remote containers. And codenames Capybara and Mythos, already appearing in active API version strings, The next model generation is closer than Anthropic admitted. Claude Code started as one engineer's side project in the fall of 2024. 14 months later, it was the fastest-growing developer tool Anthropic had ever built, running autonomous agents in people's terminals while they slept, and briefly, accidentally, showing the world exactly how it worked. The terminal turned out to be the right place to put the future, and it's still running.